Ever heard that story about I think it was like a guy, right? He ran the scam, went on for decades, cost people like billions.
Oh, yeah, sounds familiar. What was it, like a movie or something?
You think so, right? But this is the real deal. No Hollywood ending here. This is Bernie Madoff we're talking about, and we're diving deep on this one, you and I.
Mhm.
By the end of this, you'll be able to practically smell the fear and, well, the ambition too, I guess.
The ambition, the audacity of it all. I'm ready. Let's dive in.
Perfect. Okay, so we're talking about the biggest Ponzi scheme in history, which Madoff masterminded. You'll learn how he pulled it off, and more importantly, how everyone else missed it.
And why they missed it, which is almost as fascinating, right? Psychology of it all.
Right. So picture this, 1980s, Wall Street, the whole nine yards. Madoff, though, he's not your typical, slick Wall Street guy. He's quiet, unassuming even. But he built this empire, and it was all based on trust.
It's interesting you say that because Madoff was a master at, well, you can call it social engineering. He understood that exclusivity makes people crave things even more.
Oh, I know that feeling. Limited edition, exclusive offer. Works every time.
Exactly. So he cultivates this image, right? This air of, I've got something special, something most people don't have access to.
Okay, but how did that actually work? Did he have some kind of magical investing formula or what?
Not magic, more like smoke and mirrors. See, a Ponzi scheme, think of it like how do I put this? A financial house of cards. You're not actually growing any real wealth.
Right, just shifting it around.
Exactly. He'd take money from new investors, and instead of actually investing it, he'd use it to pay off older investors.
And those older investors, seeing these returns, they tell their friends, right? Talk about a pyramid scheme of epic proportions.
It's a classic pyramid structure built on constant recruitment. The problem is eventually you run out of new investors to pay off the old ones.
It's like a game of musical chairs. Someone's always left standing when the music stops. So with Madoff, were there no red flags? No one suspected anything was off.
There were always red flags. Analysts, competitors, some folks were waving their arms saying this isn't adding up. The returns were impossibly consistent, especially in volatile markets.
So why wasn't anyone listening?
Well, people wanted to believe in Madoff. He was successful, connected, and most importantly, he made them feel rich, at least for a while.
So it's like the desire to be part of the in-group, it can be blinding.
It's a powerful social force. Plus, let's not forget the good old confirmation bias, right? We tend to favor information that confirms what we already believe.
If it fits our narrative, we're more likely to buy it. So how did it all come crashing down? This house of cards had to collapse eventually, right?
2008, the financial crisis. Investors started to panic, wanted to pull their money out, and poof, nothing there.
Talk about a rude awakening. And that was it. Game over for Madoff.
Game over. He confesses to his sons, the authorities get involved, and suddenly it's front-page news. Billions gone, vanished into thin air.
And the people who trusted him, who invested their life savings, it's heartbreaking.
It was devastating. People lost everything. Homes, retirements, their sense of security, all gone. It really underscored that even the most seemingly trustworthy figures can be capable of incredible deception.
So what can we learn from all of this? Besides, don't trust anyone, which is, not exactly helpful advice for living in the real world.
Right. Well, for one, the Madoff affair forced some much-needed changes in the financial industry. Tighter regulations, more transparency.
Those are good things, but it's more than just regulations, right?
Absolutely. On a personal level, it highlights the importance of due diligence. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Even if it makes you sound skeptical, it's worth it.
And sometimes, a healthy dose of skepticism is exactly what you need. Another important lesson: diverse perspectives. Talk to different people. Get a second opinion, especially when it comes to your money.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. This deep dive into the Madoff affair, it's really got me thinking.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
In a world where anyone can appear credible online, on TV, wherever, how do we protect ourselves? How do we balance trust with healthy skepticism? It's a tough question.
It's something we all have to grapple with. There's no easy answer, unfortunately.
No easy answers, but definitely something to think about. And on that note, that wraps up our deep dive for today.